In 2017, divers captured a shocking scene in the Pacific Ocean. In the footage, a black and white banded sea snake is seen grappling with another animal. Without looking closely, it's hard to tell exactly who is biting whom. As the camera zooms in, it's revealed that the sea snake has a death grip on its opponent. And the animal being bitten is no pushover either. Known as an underworld henchman of the ocean, it usually devours stonefish, attacks sharks, and ambushes divers with extraordinary bravery. Since this fellow is so powerful, why is it currently being pinned to the ground and rubbed by a sea snake smaller than itself? What exactly is its relationship with the sea snake? Is it truly the legendary bully of the seabed? In this episode, we're going to talk about this amazing animal, the moray eel. Moray eels are creatures that dwell on the seabed. There are more than 200 species of moray eels worldwide. Their living habits and dietary preferences don't differ much. The only major difference is their appearance. With over 200 species, they show off over 100 different styles. There are solid colors, leopard-like spots, zebra-like stripes, and black and white patches. In short, they are incredibly diverse and flashy. Looking at their entire body shape, they look very similar to sea snakes. Many people are probably confused about what a moray eel is and wonder if it's a type of sea snake. In terms of their slender build, they do look alike. But if you think that way, you've totally misunderstood them. These guys are actually fish. In terms of zoological classification, they belong to the phylum Chordata, class Osteichthyes, family Morinidae, and genus Murena. We all know that bony fish usually have swim bladders. As bony fish, moray eels have them too. Swim bladders help them float or sink freely in the water. The difference is that they don't have scales, nor do they have pectoral or pelvic fins. They only have one long fin that extends from the head all the way to the tail and belly. This makes their movements even more smooth and fluid. Now, let's look at sea snakes. A sea snake's head is actually very small, and they have no fins. In order to swim better in the water, the sea snake's tail has evolved into an oar-like shape. Actually, sea snakes all come from the land. Their ancestors moved from the land to live in the sea a long time ago. Sea snakes are reptiles. They don't have gills and breathe with lungs. So even though they live in the sea, they need to come to the surface periodically to breathe. This is somewhat similar to the whale family. However, due to living in the water for long periods, their breath-holding ability has significantly improved. They can stay down for up to 3 hours before needing to breathe. Not only do they look like sea snakes, but their swimming movements also share some similarities. As a bony fish, when a moray eel twists its body, it puts most cartilaginous fish to shame. This is mainly related to their vertebrae. These tightly connected vertebrae number as many as 180, which is more than 5 times that of humans. Other than that, they have no extra parts to hinder their S-shaped twisting motion. They like to hide in coral caves and poke their heads out. Their mouths are always constantly opening and closing. This opening and closing mouth, combined with the solid teeth inside, looks very frightening. Is this the way moray eels scare away their enemies? From a visual standpoint, it certainly has a great deterrent effect. However, this is not its primary function. In fact, they keep opening their mouths to assist with breathing. Just like the breathing method of other bony fish, when it needs to breathe, it will regularly draw water into its mouth and force it out through the gills to obtain oxygen. The difference is that they don't have gill covers like other bony fish. The circular holes located behind their heads are where their fish gills are located. The moray eel is known as the scavenger of dead fish in the coral reef. From hundreds of meters away, as long as there is a dead fish, they are the first to appear. Because of this, you might think their eyesight must be very good. Actually, it's not. In fact, moray eels have very poor vision, even bordering on being blind. They find and hunt prey primarily through their keen sense of smell. You can see at the front of their heads, there are two small protruding things. Those are their nostrils. These are their super tools for hunting. Unlike land animals, many types of fish don't kill their prey before swallowing it. This can lead to a problem during the process of swallowing. Because the mouth is open again, the prey can escape. To firmly grasp their prey, some fish grow a second set of teeth in their throats. For example, the grouper. They have 4 rows of teeth in their lower jaw for the purpose of being able to hold the prey firmly, not letting any morsel in the mouth escape. In this function, the moray eel can be said to have taken it a step further. They also have a second set of teeth in their throat. These teeth are not only sharp, but can also extend and retract freely. When the front teeth bite the prey, the pharyngeal teeth pop out, grab the prey, and then retract inward, dragging the prey into the esophagus. After this series of combinations, it's basically impossible for the bitten prey to escape. Their teeth at the front of the mouth are also very special. These teeth don't grow vertically. They curve inward at a certain angle. This makes it even harder for the bitten prey to break free. The strange body structure of the moray eel piqued the interest of scientists. In 2018, the University of California even set up a special team to study the feeding behavior of moray eels. They eventually discovered that moray eels can complete the entire feeding process on land without the help of water. This is also the only fish discovered that can finish eating without needing water. The results of this study were finally published in the Journal of Experimental Biology. Possessing such powerful weapons makes these moray eels fearless of anything. They will shove anything they encounter into their mouths. For example, the lionfish, which is so prominent in the ocean, with its body full of poisonous spines. Other animals hide as far away as possible when they see them. But for the moray eel, it just becomes a little snack. Or take the ugly and highly venomous stonefish. The moray eel doesn't care about it either. As long as it catches it, it will definitely stuff it in its mouth. The octopus is known as a master at squeezing into crevices. Its soft body can squeeze into no matter how small a rock crack. But hiding in crevices doesn't seem to work against the moray eel. No matter how deep you hide, it will pull you out without hesitation. As for other ordinary fish, as long as the size is right, it will eat them all. Sometimes even small sharks dare to hover in front of them, and they will also take a bold shot at grabbing a bite. It's just that the size of these sharks, relative to them, it really was a bit too big. After a long stalemate, it really couldn't swallow it, so it had to let it go. Besides, this shark meat really tastes terrible. It's full of the smell of uric acid. Forget about eating it. It's better to save some energy, go back into the hole, and set up an ambush for the next target. The fearless moray eel only fears sea snakes whose ancestors came from the land. Because sea snakes possess powerful venom, their toxicity is much stronger than that of land snakes. Even a moray eel, which is immune to various toxins, finds it hard to withstand. If the sea snake attacks the moray eel from the tail, the eel can still fight back slightly. However, even though the moray eel has terrifying teeth, it gains no advantage against the thick and slippery skin of the sea snake. In the end, the battle only ends when the sea snake voluntarily gives up. If it encounters a sea snake attacking from the head, things get quite tragic. In this situation, the moray eel will be completely defenseless and at its mercy. Fortunately, moray eels are large, making them difficult for sea snakes to swallow. After a struggle, the sea snake has to give up and leaves dejectedly. By this time, the moray eel has been paralyzed into unconsciousness. Tough guys sometimes have a tender side. For example, when facing cleaner shrimp, they become very quiet. Because these shrimp can help the moray eel remove dirt and various parasites from its skin. There are also cleaner fish. They also help the moray eel clean its mouth. Of course, These cleaners don't just provide services for moray eels. They offer this service to most marine animals. Who would refuse a free service, right? Since they often weave through coral reefs and rock crevices, one can't help but worry. With frequent friction against these rough objects, won't their bodies get scratched? It turns out that to prevent the body from being harmed, the moray eel's skin secretes a special mucus. They can roam without any concerns. It is said that this mucus is also poisonous. Before consuming a moray eel, for the sake of safety, experts suggest scraping off this mucus first. With a solitary personality, moray eels are always alone. Except for mating or competing for prey, they have almost no interaction with other moray eels. So, will they be so lonely that they have no friends? Actually, it has a good brother under the sea. We mentioned it when we talked about groupers in a previous program. Groupers will cooperate with moray eels for hunting. In other words, they have a great relationship and are quite intelligent. Otherwise, they wouldn't be smart enough to hunt together. Many people might think this is just an occasional case, but in fact, this is frequent behavior between these two species. It has been discovered more than once or twice. Moreover, they usually communicate before starting their cooperation. This surprises scientists very much. After all, they are different species, and they have no language. How do they complete this communication process? It's simply mind-boggling. Just like the basic rules in the human world, the fish world also follows the principle. There are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. If things don't go right, these brothers will turn against each other. Sometimes the moray eel ignores the brotherly bond and attacks a smaller grouper ruthlessly. When this underworld henchman of the coral reef makes a move, everyone is terrified. The grouper is no pushover either. If you don't play fair, don't blame me for being ruthless. At worst, we both go down together. However, if a real fight breaks out, the big brother grouper usually ends up on the losing end. But once facing a fully grown giant grouper, the moray eel becomes very well behaved. After all, this is absolute size suppression. They wouldn't be so foolish as to provoke it. Although they possess perfect hunting skills, moray eels are actually opportunists. What is an opportunist? In fact, it's about being tricky and taking shortcuts. They are the type that will never work hard if they can be lazy. In the waters near a small island in the western Mediterranean, divers have observed the moray eels there for a long time. The reason for choosing to observe the moray eels here is that their environment is a bit special. Above these coral reefs on the seabed, one can often see, not far from the water's surface, many giant mesh bags. Inside these mesh bags, they are packed tightly with various farm-raised fish. They are local aquaculture projects. Here, dead fish or feed constantly fall to the seabed. The moray eels living below can be said to enjoy a life of leisure. They can live quite comfortably every day without any labor. The moray eels here have become very lazy. Every day, they just hide in their holes, sticking their heads out to watch for the delicacies from above. They have lost interest in hunting. This allows various prey like lionfish to swagger right in front of them. If you want to become friends with a moray eel like this young lady, you can do it too, as long as you prepare enough small fish every time you visit. Opportunists are indeed very easy to bribe. After they are full, they will let you pet them however you want. They are even more obedient than your kitten at home. But once you let them develop a dependency, they will rush up to give you a thorough search the moment you appear. If you ever forget to bring a treat, then you have to be careful. Because if they aren't satisfied, they might lose their temper. Uncle Lee is very angry, and the consequences are very serious. See, this kind-hearted and enthusiastic diver immediately witnessed their power. Also, if you catch a moray eel, never try to grab it with your hands. Otherwise, the result will be like that young man, learning a lesson through blood. Legend has it that because they eat too many toxic creatures, they also have toxins in their bodies. However, this doesn't stop them from becoming a target for foodies. Foodies seem to have become immune to toxins. Foodies in Japan are more meticulous. They will spend an hour slowly processing it step by step. Novice foodies might not know how thick their skin is. They start working without even sharpening their knives. This is truly a case of more haste, less speed. Veterans are different. They have learned to cut the Gordian knot, finishing it in no time. I'll leave the rest for you to handle yourself. Filipinos are quite unique and have developed new ways of eating. Boiled small moray eels and fried moray eels. They carefully select moray eels about the size of chopsticks, using the unique skills of the elderly to turn them into delicious dishes. It is said this dish tastes quite good and is very famous locally. Some might ask, if you pick such small moray eels to eat, will they be eaten to extinction? Actually, don't worry. Moray eel resources are currently quite abundant. As long as you want to, you can eat them with peace of mind.